much for coming back to my channel. I'm Margaret. Right now it is October. There's a lot of people doing spooky reads, people doing haunting things and horror and ghouls and ghosts and goblins, and that is not really my thing. So I'm going to cobble together my own version of a TBR for October. Yes, a TBR. That means to be read. It's an abbreviation for people who read a lot and have piles and piles of books, and so they need to distinguish between their piles of books. I have one right off screen. I'm going to be telling you how I put it together, but first, the significance of the first TBR video. I haven't promised to read anything really since graduate school, 2008. So that's 12 years. This is going to be a return to something that kind of feels like homework, which is interesting. We will see how it goes. A TBR goal to focus on is actually a good thing right now because there's lots of things that are putting me off my stride, that are frustrating me, that I have no power over. So last month I mentioned a plumbing issue. That's gone, and now it's, well, there was also smoke apocalypse. There were all the fires where we had to close our windows and we couldn't breathe, so there's that. And then yesterday my water was turned off for like 10 hours without any notice because they left a hanger on the door, but I didn't go out yesterday because I quarantined, so I never saw it, so I had no water backup. And yeah, so first we had the air we couldn't breathe, then we have the water we couldn't drink, and I feel like land. I feel like the earthquake is going to be next, so let's hope that is not what happens. So anyway, concentrate on the reading. That's what we can control, right? Always, I have to read books for research as I'm writing my current draft, and there's a whole another discussion we can have about research and writing and how they like dovetail, but I do a lot of research before, and then as I'm writing I sort of pitch in things as I need. So what I have to finish this month is research book, Haymarket. And I think what I'm going to do, if I know the answer, I think in my TBRs, to be transparent, I'm going to tell people where I got the books, because in my discussion with Beautifully Bookish Bethany and others on a live last month, they said that was super helpful in terms of not exciting people's resentment or sort of emphasizing the consumerist side of hauls and TBR videos. So, in order to let you know that these books have been compiled over a long time, and of course, this is my first TBR video, so I've got, books from years and years to pull from that you don't know about. Maybe down the line when I've gone through a lot of them, you'll be like, oh, I don't need to hear about where you got them. And you can tell me that. Anyway, so this is a loan from a friend who got it from like a socialist anarchist bookstore a long time ago, and it's about the Haymarket riot, so I'm going to put a link down below about what that is. This is sort of sideline research for my current novel, which takes place in Chicago, which is a hotbed of unrest at the turn of the 20th century. So there's that. Research read. The next one is reschooling. So I've got this term, it's not my word, this is my friend Malia Dicker's word for untraining your mind and giving yourself the kind of education you wish you had gotten when you were growing up. So we are retraining our mind. We're going to read Hood Feminism. So I got this last month and I've been holding off reading it because I'm very excited. There's, unfortunately, when this video goes up, the discussion will be that day, so I won't have finished it in time, but I will definitely go back and visit that discussion, and I'll link it down below, anyone who's interested. The third book is going to be Return. So, and this is a new book purchased through Blackwell's, which is a wonderful worldwide distributor based in the UK, so the UK always has half of my heart. Alright, so the third one is called Return. Return. So a book that I put aside and I haven't picked up in months and months and months, and I really want to finish so that I can say that I did it, because it started out well. See, there's all these notes, there's all these things, and then I sort of petered out. I'm like halfway, no. Okay, so there. If you look through it, I'm like 4/5 of the way through. This, The 12 Wild Swans, was a book that I got for an herbalism course in 2019. And it started out well and then just sort of disintegrated because of different people's schedules and lives intervening. So I didn't finish, but it was good while it lasted. And this was a great book to learn about social struggle, internalized misogyny, sort of like power structures in our lives and how they work. It basically takes the myth, the sort of folklore tale of the 12 wild swans, and goes through chapter by chapter with the sort of metaphorical discovery that happens in the fairy tale, which is a really neat thing, but then like dives down into the implications in the lives of people, especially women today. So this is really good and I want to finish it. Return to that one. And this I bought through new, although it's sad state now, I bought this new through another read-through, which I will link below. That is my local independent bookstore. Woohoo! Alright, so those are the 3 that I thought of immediately for my TBR, and then I was seduced by the siren song of Victober. If you haven't heard of this, it's Victorian October. It's currently the 5th year that it's running. It's for people to read Victorian literature in October, which, why not, right? And I had a convenient pile of Victorian literature that I could pick through for this. Not that many, but definitely some that I've been meaning to get to. So there's a few prompts. I'll put the link to the announcement for that readathon in the description box as well. One of the prompts is about getting to an author that you've been meaning to read, and of course that's what I'm going to use this for. North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. My sister got me this as a gift last year I think, and I love the miniseries. I will definitely link the Richard Armitage fan site down below so you can have a nice look as well. I flicked through some parts just to see if they were the same as the miniseries, and it appears there are substantial departures, so this should be interesting. I'm going to enjoy the language, but also finding the differences between the book and the movie is always fun. So that's one Victober prompt. Another was about letters or diaries. I'm going to cheat along with Katie at Books and Things, who said that she was going to be cheating with letters and diaries and using this because it's like a memoir, but a memoir is really a glorified diary that's for other people's consumption. So it's a little different, but Wonderful Adventures of Mrs. Seacole in Many Lands. And basically, she was a person who has been compared to Florence Nightingale, but who was a person of color, and so there's a murky question of whether or not she was exaggerating the truth in some instances to gain notoriety and make a living, or whether she's just been sort of shuffled into the folds of history because she was a person of color. So I'm looking forward to getting more into that and reading her stories of her voyages. And then the third Victober one I'm going to be doing is an author that you've already read, going back and reading. The last one is by Charlotte Bronte, Tales of the Islanders. Oh, I forgot to say, these two are both used purchases. This is from Backstory Books in Portland. This is from the Book Bin in Salem. This year, like 4 years ago. So this has been sitting waiting for me to read it. I'm a huge fan of Charlotte Bronte. This is one of the things she wrote as a younger person when she and her siblings would make up stories about fantasy lands and make up whole social systems and conflicts and wars and lots of fun things. So I've heard about it, known about it a long time, and have the chance to go through it, and it's not a long read, so figured I'd add that. Honestly, I'm excited to participate because I think I'll get a lot of great new ideas from the other booktubers who are participating, because they're like my people, right? Victorian literature, like, oof. I don't know if I'm going to get through all these in October, but the purpose of a TBR is to have a goal, right? So let's do that. Our bonus is going to be Passing. It's sort of a research read, but may not turn into much. So I became aware of this several months ago, was looking for a copy and got a used copy from Backstory Books. Nella Larson wrote about passing and this interesting encounter between two relatives in the 1920s. One who chose to pass as white and one who did not, and the sort of different paths their life took. So this looked really good, and this will be my bonus book this month. So that's 7. And of course I got some library ones coming in and out that are more like fluffy. But these are my goals. Ooh. And the exciting announcement for this TBR video, besides the fact that this is my first TBR video, is that I'm doing my first buddy read. So Sandy Golston, I'll put his channel down below as well. Started following him, and he's got some very eclectic tastes, and I saw that he had The Last Story of MINA Lee on his list, and I had that in my audio list thanks to Libro FM, and I'll put both of them in the description below. Man, there's going to be a lot of links to this video. Anyway, October 10th, 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern, we're going to do a live, and so we're going to be discussing our reads on that book, or our listens, because I'm going to be doing audio. Saturday, October 10th, we will be having our live discussion on YouTube, so be sure to tune in for that, and he should be announcing on his channel as well, maybe today, we'll see. And yeah, so first buddy read. I'm not sure what to expect, but I think it'll be fun. So there you have it. It's October. Welcome to, for certain, fall. Enjoy your pumpkin spice if you run that way. Check out Victober and tell me if you have research reads, if you have return to reads, if you have reschooling reads, because I think they're all pretty good ideas, and I'll probably keep up with that as a theme for my TBRs. So, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Just open them and October 10th.